go big today, and to be exact, global. Now, today we're going to dive into the global trends that and challenges that comes with navigating cross-cultural negotiations. Now, from the impact of globalizations to gender roles in business setting, yes, that is a game changer. Now, we're going to cover it all today, so let's dive right in. Now, globalizations has transformed how we do our business. Suddenly, we're not just selling to our local market, we're pitching in Japan, we're negotiating in Singapore, and we certainly are making deals in Indonesia. But with that global reach comes complexity. So, how do we navigate different norms, expectations, or even the business etiquette? So, let's break it down, okay? Now, globalization is a double edged sword, no matter how we look at it. It gives us the access to the markets across the globe. But if you walk into a meeting with a one size fits all kind of approach, you're setting yourself up for failure. Now, cultural context is everything. Now, picture this. You're in Singapore, known for its fast paced business environment. Now, you're eager to present your numbers, but the clients decided to take a step back. Now, in Singapore, though, while efficiency is valued, now rushing can signal callousness. And if you do slow down a little bit, you show somewhat of a respect and invest in building the relationship first, you'll find that the deal will follow. Now, globalization definitely gives us tons of opportunities, but the challenges are real. So let's tackle one of the biggest hurdles, that is the cross-cultural differences. Now, when we step into the negotiation in a foreign country, we're not just selling a product. We're essentially navigating the entire cultural ecosystem. Now, in some places like the US, being direct is the name of the game. Say what you mean and mean what you said, right? Now, in many Asian cultures, though, communications can be more nuanced. You might not hear a direct no, but that doesn't mean the deal is still on the table. Now, if you're in Japan and the client nods along and say, "Well, think about it," you might think that to be a positive sign, but in reality, they're declining you. Patience and reading between the lines are the key here. Now, here's the curveball: gender dynamics. It plays a huge role in any negotiations, especially in certain regions. Now, male clients often dominate conversations, and in certain situations, they may talk down to or even disregard a female negotiator's opinions. Now, in many of these contexts, though, especially in the more conservative regions, decision making power is rarely placed in the hands of the women. Now, imagine you're a female sales leader pitching in Indonesia. Now, despite being the lead, you notice that your male clients consistently directs the questions to your male colleague or even dismissing your suggestions. It's not just an oversight. It is just a matter of culture conditioning. Now, in these moments, you need to double down on established authority. Exert your expertise early in the conversation and redirect the focus back to you when you're sidelined. Now, even though these biases can feel frustrating, remember to stay focused and professional. Now, a strategic approach might involve building rapport with key male decision makers and subtly guiding the conversation back to the value that you're bringing to the table. Now, confidence speaks louder than gender. Gender dynamics aside, there's more to cross-cultural challenges than meets the eye. Now, in many Asian cultures, though, maintaining harmony and saving face is the key. So direct confrontation, public embarrassments, or even a blunt rejection can damage the relationship. So instead of hearing a firm no, you might get, "We'll revisit it later," which can really mean it's a no, but let's stay polite. So say you're negotiating in Thailand, instead of getting a straightforward answer, you get a polite, "We'll think about it." Now, what do you do then? Don't push them. Instead, give them the space and the time and follow up gently and reframe that conversation. Now, they'll appreciate the respect and might even re engage you down the line. Now, time is money no matter what, except when it isn't. In some countries, though, like the US, a fast deal is a good deal. Now, in Asia, though, in Japan and Indonesia, decision making process is drawn out. Now, you need to go through multiple rounds of discussions with different layers of management. Say when you're in Japan, and after several meetings, you're still waiting on a decision. Well, if I were you, I won't panic because it's part of their process. Decision here often involve consultations with various departments, so you'll have to be patient and provide that clear, detailed information to every stakeholder involved. Now, overcoming these barriers is about more than just adapting. It's about mastering the art of flexibility. So, how do you bridge those cultural gaps and close the deal? Now, once you've understood the challenges, it's time for you to master them and overcome them. Now, every culture has its own set of norms. In Singapore, you want to be direct, you want to be respectful. Now, in Japan, though, patience is the virtue. The more you adapt, the more successful you'll be. So, when dealing with multiple layers of approval in Indonesia, patience are your best assets. Now, rushing the process could make you look trustworthy, but instead, allow time for feedback and adjustment. Now, prove your value consistently and they'll come around. Now, if you're not sure where you stand in a negotiation, ask questions in a way that allows them to save their face instead of, do we have a deal? Try something like, is there anything more that we can provide to move forward? Mhm. Now, in Thailand, though, maintaining respect is the key. Ask, is there anything else that you'd like to explore before we finalize the agreement? Now, these questions open up the floor for concerns without applying that pressure. Okay, so now you've got the tools to handle cross cultural challenges. Know the market that you're pitching in and understand not just their business needs, their cultural preferences. What works in one country might totally bomb in another. And in Japan, though, where consensus is the key, be prepared with a detailed proposal that answers every potential questions. Now show that you've thought of every angle and they respect your thoroughness. Now, especially in Asia, though, relationship is just as important as the deal itself. In China, for instance, building guanxi is a long game, but once you have it, the deals will follow. In China, you might have several dinners before business is even mentioned. Now, take the time to invest in this relationship because it pays off in trust and smoother negotiations down the road. So, no matter how much you prepare, global negotiations can take unexpected turns. So, be ready to pivot and adapt to situations. Now, if you can go with the flow, you'll succeed in any market. In a fast paced Singapore, your initial proposal might get shot down if it's too slow, so be ready to adjust your pitch and fly and cut the chase when needed. And that's how you take on global sales game. Now remember, negotiating across cultures isn't just about selling, it's about understanding, adapting, and building that trust. If you want more tips, like, subscribe, and drop a comment. The most challenging negotiation that you ever faced. Now, let's hear some short stories here, right? My name is Dean. I'm the sales rebel. Until then, I'll see you in the